Welcome to 7 at 7 with PJ. Today's reading. Try to see things more and more from my perspective. Let the light of my presence so fully fill your mind that you view the world through me. When little things don't go as you had hoped, look to me lightheartedly and say, oh well. This simple discipline can protect you from being burdened with an accumulation of petty cares and frustrations. If you practice this diligently, you will make a life-changing discovery. You realize that most of the things that worry you are not important. If you shrug them off immediately and return your focus to me, you will walk through your days with lighter steps and a joyful heart. When serious problems come your way, you will have more reserve for dealing with them. You will not have squandered your energy on petty problems. You may even reach the point where you can agree with the Apostle Paul that all of your troubles are light and momentarily compared with the eternal glory being achieved by you. Wow, I really appreciate this reading on today. And what really just sticks out for me is that phrase of getting into a space where we can just actually just say, oh well. when situations happen that, you know, that didn't go our way, you know, the way that we had hoped them to go, that we can just say, oh well, knowing that God is working things out for our good. You know, the reading is really stressing how we've got to learn how to tap into the presence of God. No matter what we might be going through, no matter where we are on our life's journey. You know, I often say there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. Life is like a roller coaster. There's going to be ups and there's downs. But we've got to tap into God's presence in our ups, and we definitely need to tap into God's presence in our valleys. And so we got to develop this discipline of saying, oh well. I truly love that. And if we do that, it will protect us. It says from the accumulation of petty cares and frustrations. For many of the things that we worry about, we really realize down the line they weren't really that important. They weren't that important, but they bogged us down because they are things of the world that are just hitting us from left and hitting us from the left and the right. And so if we develop the disciplines that we need to have that will, you know, help us to protect our minds. It says protect your mind, you know, from the views of the world. Protect our minds from the perspective of the world. Because yes, from the world's perspective, we need to worry and we need to be frustrated about this, that, and the other. But from God's perspective, we don't. We need to get into the discipline of saying, oh well, and build up our reserve for when some of those bigger problems and troubles might come our way. But we will know we've already built ourselves up in this discipline of, oh well, knowing that God is with us. God will never forsake us, and God is helping us through our challenging situations, because if our boats are rocky, where the wind is blowing, if we remember the story in the biblical text, for those that might remember this, when the disciples were on the boat and the boat just started to rock and turn and the wind blowing, they thought that Jesus didn't care about them because Jesus was in the back of the boat asleep. Jesus wasn't worried about the storm. Jesus wasn't worried about the wind or any of that. And they said, hey, do you want us to perish? And Jesus said to them, okay, where's your faith? All right. And he said, peace, be still. Because see, they forgot who was in the boat with them. They forgot who was in the boat with them, and it was Jesus. Okay? And so if Jesus wasn't worrying about it, Why should they? But our natural selves will worry about storms. Our natural selves will worry about when the wind is tossing us to and fro. Our natural selves will worry about the challenges and struggles that we have within our lives. But we've got to remember who's in our boat. Wow, think about that for a minute. Who's in our boat? And we have to understand that God is in our boat. God is with us. God does not desire that we perish, but that we have life and have it more abundantly. We have to understand something else, that sometimes we go through things in our lives for the purpose of bringing glory, bringing glory to God. And so we've got to remember this. In this lesson is teaching us that we've got to say, oh well, when certain things hit our lives, oh well, knowing that who's in our boat, oh well, because this too shall pass. Think about that for a minute. This too shall pass. I tell you, there was a message that was done by Reverend Sherry James, who I just absolutely love. And she preached a message, and she said, we got to get into a place where we say, it's great and getting better. No matter what we're going through, it's great and getting better. And so that has become my mantra, that I'm just trying to say, if somebody asks me how you're doing, I've got to get in my mind, it's great and getting better. And I've got to respond that way. It's great and getting better. No matter what I might be going through, no matter what my challenges might be, it's great and getting better. Oh, well, because